Good evening, TED Talkers. It is such a privilege to be here tonight, and I'm so excited to be here sharing my ideas, what's spreading with you. Are you excited to be here? Yay! I am so excited that you guys are also excited as I am about today's talk show or today's TEDx talk. And you're probably asking yourself, or you're probably whispering to the person sitting next to you, and you're saying, is she that nervous that she's calling us TEDx or TED Talkers? Well, the truth is, without you sitting in here, there can be no TED Talk. I believe that it is phenomenal and beautiful people like you sitting on these chairs tonight who make TED the greatest. And because of that, I would like you to look at the person sitting next to you, and as you are looking at them, I want you to smile. And as you smile at them, I want you to say to them, you are the greatest. Because all of you, ladies and gentlemen, are the greatest. My name is Pozisa, and I will be advocating for the liberation of women within our societies. So I realized that I'm one of those people who love thinking, as she said. I can think about, those deep thoughts, serious thoughts, and at the same time, I found myself wild, and I'm like, hey, where are you going? Anyone like that in the house? At least I'm a human, For a second, I felt like, oh, goodness, I'm the only one who has these weird things happening to her. Lately, however, a line of thought has been developing on my mind. And that is, what if there were no rules on how and what a woman should be or should be like? What if there were no regulations or rules that pressure women to marry or have children? Can you begin to imagine that kind of a world? Well, for me, in the context of South Africa, it is difficult to begin to imagine such a world. Or should I say, in the context of Africa as a whole. And my line of thought is rooted from my upbringing as a child. It all started in Ladyford, in a small village where I was born and raised by my late grandmother, Umama Umpengukazi, as she was often called by her clan name. A beautiful, respectable, brave, and a traditional woman she was. So as I was growing up, I fantasized and I desired to be at least half the woman she was. Because of course, that's the only kind or the only perception I had in my mind of who and what a woman should become or should be like. And that perception changed the day I came to Cape Town, the city of dreams. People's dreams come to reality here. And when I came to Cape Town, that is where I was exposed to different ideas, different philosophies, different perceptions of who a woman should be or who a woman is. And those differences in philosophies and perceptions, in views, can be summarized, or I have summarized them into a traditional and a modern woman. A modern woman, based on my observation, is the kind who is a princess. Quote. She's the kind who is dependent, and she is known as a softie. She cannot really do anything for herself. She relies on the husband or the man to take care of her. Mind you, she did not just decide on doing that or becoming like that solely. But from the day she was born, it was already set up for her. All she could do was to receive, absorb, and become what the society had already dictated even before she was born. She is known as the wife material. Even at the age when she's studying, even at the age as she's growing, she's already wired, and her mind already is preparing herself that I should not take a job that will pay me so much because I'm so scared that I'm going to intimidate my potential husband. She's the kind who stays at home to take care of the kids, cook for the husband. Not that I'm saying that is wrong, but she does that because the society is expecting of her to be like that. And therefore, she's striving so much that I want to keep up. I want to be this woman that the society says I should become. She is respectful. She is obedient. You often hear her saying, "Ewe tata," and that is yes, my husband in isiXhosa. You often find her also saying, "Ewe tata zala," and that is yes, father-in-law in isiXhosa. And one thing that you should note is that she does not actually always agree with what they're saying, but she's taught and wired that she should agree with everything they say because she's simply a woman. On the other hand, we have the modern woman. They're excited about life. They pursue their dreams. They are all about getting the PhD, getting the certification to become, the best programmer in the world, and so on and so forth. They are all about climbing the corporate ladder, and you see them within the society. They are leaders in areas where they have expertise in. However, the question is, are any of these views a fair perception of who a woman should be or should be like? And I realized as I kept on pondering on this matter that it actually stems, or the underpinning cause of this matter is the culture where we live in, or is the culture that we find within our societies. And this culture that we see or that we receive as we grow up is actually influenced by factors such as religion, such as the family structures, and other factors that we find within our society which influence how people behave. And I believe that it is important that we begin to look into this matter, because it stains and it pains the society in many different ways. I don't know whether we have noticed or whether we are turning a blind spot to the stains and the pains that it is causing. And some of them include poverty. Let's say, for example, we take a random woman from the Eastern Cape. Her husband works in Joburg or in Durban or in Cape Town. She's left there, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the house, and do all the wifely things that are meant to be done by a wife. God forbid the husband passes on. There are two options she's left with. It's either the late husband's brother takes over the wife, or the wife goes down the downward spiral and becomes poor. Mind you, that could have been avoided if only the right perception or the right view was defined in the first place of how she should be or how she should embrace and develop herself as a holistic woman. We also find women becoming what is in our days called blessees. Anyone familiar with the term? I'm sure. And what I've actually realized about the term blessees, you find that women are striving so hard. They are trying so hard to be the so-called modern woman. However, as they're trying so hard to be the so-called modern woman, the traditional woman mindset is still at play. Because remember, she is servicing whosoever she is servicing, who she believes has the ability to create and make the money so that she can go up. Because she believes that she cannot do that on her own, so she needs someone who will help her climb up. We also find women leaning against the wall, pushing stones, kicking them, trying so hard to be the ideal woman. And it's so sad. We're becoming so depressed. We're trying to be the ideal woman, and no one knows who is this ideal woman or how she looks like. And the one that pains me the most is the division that we see amongst women. The who's better than who kind of views. Is it the traditional? Is it the modern woman? And as a result of that, I would like to pose two questions to you. And that is, does the fact that I've chosen to pursue my dreams, have a career, become a kick-ass CEO, or create my own company that makes billions of rand, develop software that will be utilized by international company and make a mark for myself and become an influential woman, and decide not to marry and to not have a child, does that make me less of a woman? On the other hand, if I decide that I want to serve my husband, not serve as in being a slave, but I want to serve my husband. I want to take care of my children. That is all I want to do. Yes, I want to get this degree, but I don't see myself really using it. Does that make me less of a woman? And in response to that, I want to declare today, and I want us to declare today, that it is time for women to be liberated. It is time for women to be freed from the stereotypes, from the frames, from the classifications which have been established within the society of what they should be or what they should not be. And as a result, I am proposing that it is time that we begin to view women holistically in a manner that is meaningful and understandable and sensible to them. And that can be viewing them as strong people, a wise people, a brave people, a people of intellect, a people who are loving, a people who are caring, a people who are influential. And importantly, only if that is sensible and meaningful to them. And as women begin to move or gravitate towards the life of being liberated, I believe it is going to be very important for us as women to begin to discover our worth. Because in the process of discovering our worth, that is where we're going to identify what is exactly my purpose, what is exactly my identity. And I believe that it is going to be important for us to continue these programs that we already started, where we motivate each other, where we have workshops, seminars, where we build each other as women so that we can discover our worth. And as we are busy discovering our worth, we may also begin to develop self-esteem, self-efficacy, and know our identity, and thus become thriving citizens or thriving participants within our economy and other spheres of influence within our country and the world at large. And to the entire society, that is the man, who includes our fathers, our brothers, our cousins, etc., etc., the churches and other religious structures, the government, the schools, I would like to urge us that let us unite in converting and killing the marginalization and the discrimination of women within our society. It is necessary because they are the pillars of our society. With them, we will thrive and become a greater nation. And I thank you.